Yeah, right.
Mindful eating during the holidays.
Yeah, yeah, that I, I'm in the middle of a cut right now, so I'm still trying to burn some belly fat for when I was heavy. I
Yeah.
did my initial cut. I started what, 2 years ago. Went a year and a half, dropped I don't know 90 pounds, and then bumped it back up, my weight back up to build muscle. But now I'm kind of at a point. I'm almost to my cut weight. I want to get to 185, and I think I'm sitting probably close to 190, 191. But I kind of did on purpose during the holiday season, um, just to, I don't know, make it, I don't know why I wanted to make it more difficult on myself, but it's just, I'm limiting my calorie intake, but I'm hitting my protein, carbs, and fats at a pretty good level right now. But I'm gonna back down my calories the rest of this week and beginning of next week. Just my mom. We'll be heading up to Illinois to my mom's for 4 days, so she always cooks pretty good food, and we're gonna bring up some dishes that my wife makes from. She makes a gumbo and
Oh, nice.
jum,
Oh man, Louisiana gumbo. I
jambalaya
want
and
some of that.
gumbo, man, is the bomb. So we're gonna make that up there. We're gonna take all the ingredients. So there's a lot of protein in the jambalaya. With she puts in a ton of chicken and sausage, but yeah, I'm gonna. My goal is to limit the cakes and the sweets. I'll still have some because I'll be preparing up to that point ahead of time, and then when I get back from Louisiana, I'll be able to go right back into my 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 calorie window. So um,
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it's no use trying to not eat it. Just embrace
yeah,
it. Just it's pretty standard.
yeah,
Don't eat a whole pie, despite wanting to.
yeah. One slice, one thing of ice cream, and I should be good. I don't have an itch for sweets really so much anymore, but when my growing up with my mom, with her pies and cakes and stuff, they're just delicious. So we're just yeah. Anyway, I'll have my one or two slices, and that'll be my fill for the adventure up to Illinois. So
Yeah, this will be the first time I haven't messed up my bulking cutting phase. So I'm currently mass gaining right now. I posted an update of it yesterday. I'm getting pretty thick, and it makes me happy. And it's perfect timing right now too. So I'm probably gonna eat a whole pie. So
yeah, you look. I was watching your lifting session, man. You're looking pretty stout, man. Pretty big there. I mean, not heavy big, but I mean like a good bulk.
yeah, yeah. I've been trying to go slow and steady. I posted a graph of it yesterday. I've been slowly bulking since like January. There was a little bit of a hiccup there during the summertime ish where I actually started losing a little weight because I just wasn't paying enough attention. But yeah, I've been going slow and steady since January. I've probably put on a good 20 or 30 pounds.
Yeah, I mean it looked thick, looked good, and I'm not trained in any of that, but from an amateur point of view, I guess you'd say it looked pretty clean, man.
Yeah, thanks. I've been trying. I actually had to remove a lot of the mirrors in my house because the mental game's really the hardest part for me.
Sure.
I mean, I've always been really lean and cut, so it's hard once my abs are gone. It's like, oh man, I can't do it. I gotta start cutting again, but it's a lot easier when I'm not looking at myself constantly.
Would you say that with your bulking going with what at what point are you starting your cut then? Do you have a certain weight or a look that you're looking for before you start, or how do you determine when the right time to scale back is?
Yeah, for me, I have there's two breakpoints. So if I hit 235 pounds, or it becomes March, one of those two, whatever one comes first.
Hmm.
That's my that's when I'm gonna start cutting
I
again.
got you.
It's mainly because I have that obnoxious race coming up next year. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably continue to bulk up to maybe 250ish or so because I want to be settled around 220, 230 when I cut. But because I have that race, I mean, that's like it's almost 350-kilometer race. I don't want to be trucking around all that extra weight. I'm already gonna stick out like a sore
Dude, you're gonna be
thumb.
the most jacked runner there.
I'm gonna be the slow lumbering guy, but I'm okay to be able to convert that a little better.
Man, you're wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah, it's
picture. You're looking strong, Barret. A good look, nice and full.
yeah,
Hey,
thanks,
good.
man. Yeah, it's
Eh,
coming out nicely this time. It's I'm trying to minimize as much fat as possible, so doing it slowly has been super helpful this time. And like I said, if you didn't catch it earlier, I removed all the mirrors in the house because
yeah,
the mental game is really the hardest part for me.
yeah. I mean, I've been as high as almost 240. Um, for me, it really just is then about. It's ironic. I didn't know what the end result would be, Barret, when I kind of started.
Yeah.
Um, but when I got to the sort of 240 mark, and then it was time because it was going to be competition time soon. I started having a sort of tidy up phase, which
Yeah.
actually was around about this time. In all honesty, around about 2019.
Oh, that's rough.
So just tidying up. But what that did allow me was, Christmas Day and New Year's Day. And I'll be honest, guys, I eat less on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and
No
actually
shit.
I enjoy that. Um, one of the battles for me is eating. So the diet for me is an absolute doddle because you just don't eat, and well, obviously eat your protein, to keep your muscle tissue, but
Yeah.
like not having to slam food in when you're like, oh, I've already had 3,000 calories today. Oh well, I need another 750, for example, and you're just full to the gunnels, and you're like, ugh. But yeah, I used it as like a tidy up phase, and then just kind of sat close to maintenance until it was basically the turn of the year. And at that point, I was competing in the first week in April. So that would be like 13 weeks almost, plus, say, four. So like a 17-week prep almost, with a
Nice.
week off.
Yeah.
I say a week off. I mean, as I say, I'm waking up Christmas Day morning, and I'm having a nice, maybe like a breakfast roll or something, soup, Christmas dinner, a couple of spoonfuls of ice cream,
Can't
a
the
couple of
ice.
Blue Wickets here in the UK, and that's literally all I ate, or all I do eat on Christmas Day. It's pretty much the same every year. So I probably eat less
Nice.
than another two.
I love how consistent you are with the repetition. I mean, I've definitely tweeted about it, and I know everyone here has seen it or tweeted about it, but just there's nothing sexy about it, but it's so beneficial to have like set meals like that where you just take the thought out of it. You already know all the breakdowns of everything you want for it, and just eat the same thing over and over. And I mean, I love doing that personally. I've eat as stereotypical and cliche as it sounds. I've eaten chicken, rice, and broccoli for lunch for like almost 6, 7 years probably.
Still my favourite meal, Barrett. I mean, one of my favourites at the moment is chicken, rice, peas, and a little, what we call it, chorizo, but chorizo.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
dirty back salt, and then the sriracha sauce comes in.
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have pasta bolognese, spaghetti bolognese, mince and potatoes, Sunday roast. So I don't feel that I ever miss anything out. And even like now, when it's an improvement season, when my girlfriend, she was actually unwell the other night. Um, what did we go and get? We went to a place. It's called Pepe's, and in essence, I got a chicken and rice box through choice with a side of fries and some peri mayo. But yeah, it's no large shakes, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you have any special or traditional Scottish holiday meals?
We've got haggis, neeps, and tatties here. which
Okay,
is
I know.
generally eaten on St Andrew's Day. Sorry, not St Andrew's Day. My apologies. It's Rabbi Bun's birthday, which is the 25th of January, I believe.
Okay.
We do eat it outside of that. Haggis is a bit of a some when people come here.
Yeah,
I won't tell you the ingredients. I'll let you look that up yourself. But
that's the only one I know.
it's not as bad as it sounds. It's actually not a bad meal. It's very tasty.
Yeah.
That, and we like a bit of black pudding as well. When you're here, actually, Barrett, when you're coming for the race, I'm going to get you some
Yeah.
Stornoway black pudding, and you need to make it
Nice.
before you go back to the States. Oh my God, jeez.
You guys are able to. You guys are meeting up for the race then, coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna plan on either coming an extra day early or staying. I mean, I might have to stay a day later to recover. It's gonna kick my ass, but yeah. Either way, I'm gonna definitely meet up with him. He said he's only maybe 4 or 5 hours away from Wales, so
Oh, that is awesome.
seems
Yeah,
like
we could do 2 hours either way, Barrett. I mean, I'm only so I know you're saying Wales, but I would go through. I go through England to get to Wales, so that's like Carlisle, which is about 90 minutes from me. And then
nice.
after that, it would just be like another hour somewhere. So if you're in Wales, it might be something like, I don't know, off the top of my head, I'm not sure, but it might be like Leeds. We could find
Yeah.
a place on the motorways or something where it'd be like we can jump in there, and grab a couple of hours together or whatever.
Yeah. When it gets closer, we'll definitely coordinate that. I honestly want to go to Scotland, so I was thinking about coming there and
You
crashing at Airbnb or some shit nearby, or maybe just
you
rent a castle.
so should. I mean, a good spot when you're saying that, and it's fairly close to almost where I am. Is Perth. It's about an hour to 90 minutes away from where I live. And the
Okay.
reason I'm saying Perth is then it's not too far up that you're going. I'm aware of what your travel kind of commitments and your thing's going to be.
Yeah.
But Perth's a lovely place. You'll get to see a lot of the good scenery without having to go too far north as well.
Okay.
I think that would maybe even have a wee look on the map.
Yeah.
At Perth, Barrett. It's really, really a really nice place. I've worked in Perth. Stirling as well is actually only about half an hour from where I am. Is another, and that's where you've got Bannockburn and stuff like that. So you'd be able to go and see if you wanted like the fields and stuff like that.
Nice. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I was hoping my family could come out there, but it's the start of the school year for my wife, so that first month is just complete chaos with getting the new kids up and running and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So she's not gonna be able to make it out, and that's all right. But
How long are
But
you?
we'll make up for it.
How long are you guys? How long are you staying out there then, Barrett? Is it like a week trip or?
the race itself is 6 days, so I'm shooting for probably around 8-ish or so for myself. Day early, day recovery, something like that.
Gotcha. Wow.
Maybe 2 days recovery.
We'll get you some black pudding. You'll be recovered instantly.
Yeah, exactly. Black pudding and a Guinness.
Plenty iron. Plenty iron in both. One thing I was going to say, Ryan, is just on topic about the mindful eating. One of the things I say is if you're really focused on, the other 360 days of the year, what you do on days like Thanksgiving, and I know that's big in America. Christmas is a slightly bigger event here in the UK, and we also celebrate New Year's Day as well. So even those three days is what you do the rest of the year. So even 360 of the other days, when you look at it from that sort of perspective and as a percentage,
Yeah.
those 3 days or those 5 days, sorry, out of 365 is such a small percentage that it doesn't move the needle anyway. That's one of the things when I'm working with people. I try and get them to see that what you do with consistency, 80, 85, 90% of the year, it allows these times to just come, spend time with your family, enjoy, not have to get too caught up in how much that is and how much that is. And it's literally just sail in, enjoy it, and then you know yourself, as you mentioned, when you come back, you're just going to come straight back into your normal routine.
Yeah, that's a lot better perspective than how I was looking at it for sure. Because I'm so, I want to say, hyper focused on the caloric intake for those few days, but I don't want to go crazy because it'd be easy to hit 4,500, 5,000 calories, and it may hold for a couple days and then it's gone, whatever. But right, I don't know. It's from being so large before and knowing what I'm capable of doing at the dinner table and with the pies and the cakes and everything. I'm just real hesitant. I still will enjoy it for sure. It's just I don't want to I don't want to say lose my focus, but I'll definitely be enjoying it. I just it'll be definitely scaled back from where I was before. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just
Yeah, I mean, there's various ways you can do it. I mean, I understand what you're saying about any potential kind of spirals or anything else that comes from the back of that. But the other thing is as well, you could use it as a few days of, even call it a refeed.
yeah, yeah,
So a few days off training, a few days off of your activity, and obviously if your condition allows as well, you know, it might not enjoy getting, for example, so much sugar. So that's another consideration for you.
yeah,
But what I'm saying is, you could use it as a few days of maybe even just over maintenance. Again, it doesn't need to be tracked even, but it's literally just a case of like, I'm going to do this. It's going to be fine because the minute I get back, I'm going to be right back to doing my cardio, my steps, my training, and my nutrition. So,
yeah,
as I say, as a percentage, when you're looking at a couple of days, 3 days, 5 days, or whatever over a year, it's like 0.1% or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite perspectives that you continually bring to the table and tweet about quite often. Actually, is it's easy to get caught up in the micro, but if you zoom out to the macro, it's honestly insignificant. And it's a nice reminder because we all forget sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, you want me to sit? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you see it so often that everyone's thinking about what they do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and you're in the weeds, you're in the thick of the grass. Whereas sometimes you just need to take that helicopter view and come out and look at all of the trees in the forest rather than being down there on the ground.
Yeah,
And I think that it's a good analogy as well because it literally does show you the perspective that that small part, small bit of land that like a plant would take up on the ground. When you look at it from the vastness of the forest above, you don't even see it
yeah,
unless you really zoom in.
yeah,
I've just written my next tweet.
yeah, yeah. You heard it here first, everybody. Coach Ben
I am
spitting out words of wisdom, man, right here.
I am huge in perspective because this is what we see all too often, and I see it with clients when they check in. Oh, my week's been absolutely dire, and you're like, okay, right, let's break it down and let's see. And in comparison to where the week that they've had there might have been, let's say, when I say bad, I'm saying this in air quotes. It's as bad as they were 75% in terms of their activity, their training, their nutrition. So 75% is quite a decent result actually. Again, if you were sitting an exam and someone said to you, you just got 75%, which is an A minus or whatever, you'd be like, oh, that was good. I done well there. But only in the fitness space, when something isn't 100%, if it's 90% even, people feel like that they've failed or they've done something wrong or it wasn't beneficial to them. When in actual fact, when you compare that to maybe previous weeks or when they didn't train, like before they found their training, before they found that inside them, that they wanted to eat better and live better. It's still a better week than that. And that's where you've got to, again, put it into perspective, but also take solace and know that, again, 75% is better than nothing. And it's never as bad when you look back, as opposed to just using maybe one day where it was really, you couldn't get a hold of it, work was busy, maybe something you had to take the kids somewhere, yada yada.
Yeah, that's well said. I appreciate you saying that. You always got good words of wisdom, man. I appreciate that so much. And you, I'll do it out of the goodness of your heart too. You too, Barrett. Doing all the things that you guys do, it's just definitely goes appreciate. It's definitely appreciated, and yeah, thanks.
Yeah, the mental side of it's so underrated in my opinion, and not many people really pay attention and focus on it. And I feel like it's the bigger percentage of it, really. Uh, just overall percentage. I mean, even me talking earlier about me bulking right now. I've never had a successful bulk in my opinion because I've always had mirrors up and I see my abs start disappearing and then I just like, oh, I can't do it anymore, even though I know that that's how it works and I expect it every time. And the mental side of it is mind-boggling. It's so difficult sometimes, but it's so crucial and integral to the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, but like part of that, first of all, as well, I want to say, and I put it in one of my tweets as well, Barret, gents like yourself have really helped me and increased my confidence and really helped me take a step on to what I feel is the next level. And I'm always very thankful and very grateful for that. And it's why I love X and Twitter as a platform. Yourself as well, Ryan. I know we've had a couple of chats on Spaces as well. I think one or two of them was just you and I, which was good. And I've also followed your story, and these are things that are really inspirational. That people can get through such trials and tribulations and still have that positive impact on their own lives as well as the lives of those around them. And I extend that to the Twitter sphere. But what I done was I put a wee picture actually of myself at 2:37, I think, in the chat there, Barret, or in the Spaces. And it's one of those. It's really hard because in an improvement kind of season or time or muscle building phase, you don't always see you don't get the immediate gratification. When the cut comes and the muscles start to get a bit more prominent, the trousers start to get a bit looser. If you're into vascularity, the vascularity comes through and all that sort of good stuff. You get to see almost the rewards of your labour on a weekly basis, which is why again I'm such a big fan of when you go into that improvement and muscle building phase. The metrics become different. The metrics don't really become the mirror, because if you're in a spot where you're dedicated and devoted to it, you're always going to take that body fat back off. That's, again, for somebody of your caliber, Barret, easy. Again, I say that in quotes because you can put your mind to that, and within 12 weeks or 16 weeks you'll bring a good percentage of that body fat back off. But the hardest part is building the muscle, and that's one of those things that just takes the largest amount of time, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's. Oh, sorry, my baby got mad at me because I took a Band-Aid off her. Sorry. That's also something that I've always. I mean, I'm blessed, I guess, or grateful genetic wise, is losing body fat. I've never struggled with that once in my whole life. And I feel for those who it is a struggle, but that's also another reason that I think I've been so successful with it this time, aside from removing the mirrors. But I know I'm gonna be able to cut. Like it's just so much easier for me to cut, and the struggle really is for me putting on mass and decent amount of musculature.
Yeah, it's just that unfortunately fallen in love with the process. As I say, it's such a delayed gratification, and it grinds on you a bit as well. I mean, we're only human at the end of the day. But one of the things I would say is it's worth like every second of it, because the strength that you get from it. Again, it's another challenge of the mental, because it's another side of the coin. You know, I've mentioned how kind of dieting's easy for me, in terms of not having to eat. But then you get the other side of the coin there for me, where I'm really having to push food in. And it's like, right, I need to eat this, because at the end of the day, I don't want to remain the same. And that's one of the things I've kind of shown in my own journey, going from like 147 to over 200, 220, close to there. And that's been a repetitive process. I've been 3, 4, 5 times now around the going into the improvement time, and I'm in there for sometimes up to 18, 19 months at a time. I know that some people will advocate, or do mini cuts or whatever, and that might fit into some people's thinking. If they've got holidays coming up or whatever, that's absolutely fine. You can plan for that. You can make various different approaches to it. That doesn't need to be the only approach. But what I would say is I've found that that's an approach that's really worked for me to really maximise that time. It's almost like, excuse me, sorry, it's almost like baking a cake, where you're putting the ingredients in, get them in the oven. You don't want to pull them out too early, because otherwise your cake will just disappear. But if you've got them in the oven and you're cementing them, then when the time is right, you'll keep most of that tissue. Because one of the things I do see is people going around bulk cut cycles, 6-week bulk and an 8-week cut. You're not bringing, but you're certainly not bringing optimal. There will be people that there's always outliers, there's always nuance. But for most people, probably if you take a look around the gym, most people are doing 6-week cuts and 8-week bulks, or 8-week bulks and 6-week cuts, and they're just not changing year in, year out.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think that's one of the things that held me back for so many years. Is I know I have the discipline to put in the work, to lift the heavy ass weights, and to shovel the food in, and I think it's held me back from growing to my genetic potential. But I don't know why it's different this time. I think I don't. I want to attribute it to all this social media stuff. I have much more, many more eyes on me, I guess, this time, and it feels like there's that accountability side. Because I'd say 90% of my training has been alone, like just dungeon training by myself in my basement gyms. Before that, I was in commercial gyms and stuff, and it was a little different then. But I feel like with me, what's that, baby? Mini. Okay. I think with me pushing my coaching and pursuing that a little more hardcore has also helped me, because like I said, I don't think I've ever really hit my genetic potential for size and mass, just because I've always had that mental barrier. But it feels like more of a practice what I preach kind of thing now, and I've always been a proponent of that. I'm not just gonna say shit without doing it, and I don't know. It's definitely different this time, and I'm grateful for all you guys to. I don't know if it's necessarily accountability, but it kind of feels like that in some way. I mean, I don't want to be like a fraud, I guess, on Twitter, because I see a lot of alleged coaches, and I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing sometimes seeing that kind of stuff.
I'm excited to see it, Barret. I can't wait.
Barrett, I feel the
Be
same way,
rolling up into
man.
Scotland. I'm gonna be rolling into Scotland, sitting at 250. I can't even touch my ears.
I'll end up walking past you, like, it's that guy. I'm sorry, walk around you. Absolute
Yeah.
unit, 250.
Jeez.
Who's that guy there with the shoulders, the wood for a door? Oh, staying away from him.
People are running by. You'll have to go on the outside in the ditches to pass you.
Yeah, it's also such horrible timing for that race for me. I'm like, oh, I'm finally in an awesome bulk. And I'm like, oh shit, I signed up to run a whole country next year. It's just such conflicting goals, but I also like doing really obnoxiously hard things, so it's a win-win. What was that, Ryan?
Oh, I was just gonna touch base on something you mentioned just a minute ago about the fraud thing, and that I think the accountability thing for me is I'm putting it out there, and people definitely will judge you. Uh, you're the only one that knows if you're really doing the work. There's no one around, and if someone can say they're doing something and not doing it, that's on them. And that's kind of how I see it. I take everything with a grain of salt, but I expect the best out of people. But at the same regards, if they're not doing it, I don't know any better. I hope they're doing what they're saying they're doing. But one thing for me is the accountability factor, and I think that's kind of why I started posting a lot more. I haven't recently in the last few weeks, but originally that's kind of why I was doing it, is because I was trying to hold myself accountable. And then when Dukes reached out to me to be in the 100 Club, I never heard of the guy, I never knew the guy, and since then I think I've established a pretty good friendship with him, and you guys as well. But it was just for me it was the accountability, and it kind of encouraged me also having other folks that are going through some battles, alcoholism, uh, medication misusages, or overweight, or anything. Everyone's going through something. They're either in something, going through something, or coming out of something. That's it's just and seeing a lot of these. Rodney's a good example. He's been an inspiration to me with what he's been doing and what he's gone through. Duke's too, with his back issue and his pec tear, and there's so many of those people online, and to be a part of something like this, uh, it would be the worst thing I could do is to say I'm doing something and not doing it. It'd be such a disrespect to my virtual teammates, and that's just kind of how I see it. Is if I'm not doing my part with these guys, uh, I'm doing a disservice to the team. So I don't know. I think that for me, the accountability factor. I would have never done this 2 years ago. Put it out there like I am now, but I think as things are progressing, I try to show people that things there are still going to be challenges, but you can definitely work through these challenges if you get your mindset right, you're determined. Don't lie about it. Just do what you are saying you're doing, and just do it. If you're not doing what you're saying you're doing, so be it. Then that's on you. But yeah. Anyway, that was just a tangent. I don't know.
No, man, it's spot on. And I've never said things that I wasn't gonna do. So thankfully, I mean, that's just the kind of person I am. Though I'm not just gonna make shit up either. But I also, I mean, my whole branding is about staying fit and being a father, and I know how obnoxiously difficult it is. I mean, you guys can hear my daughter in the background right now. I'm not gonna be able to get my workouts in until she takes a nap. So it's nice to be able to put that message out there and kind of like call people out and be like, stop using it as an excuse. I mean, look at me. I have all the receipts to show. I'm still putting on mass, and when my cut finally starts and when it gets done, I'll have even more receipts to show for that. And I've got all the receipts prior to fatherhood, and I try not to necessarily project that so much because it's not what I'm about anymore. But that's the part where I kind of feel like a fraud in a way because it was almost like way too easy at that point, and I was full blown alcoholic too. So I don't I don't really understand anyone's excuses sometimes, but I also empathize with a lot of people because they're just not built like we are.
That's another point as well, Barrett. Obviously, with like everything that you've been through, you can then help build people and then find the bits that unlock them as you move forward with them. So that'll be a good skill because one of the things that you have got is you've walked the walk and you talk the talk very well as well. So that's just like major, just major arsenal for your harmony, really.
Yeah,
Major arsenal because
exactly.
there's nothing better you can say than a lot of people, as you said there, have talked the talk, and they might talk a good game about whatever it is that they've found, but they haven't walked the walk, and that's the difference. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah. I'm looking forward to. I mean, even 5 years from now, just it's gonna be even harder because she's gonna be older and doing more activities. And I mean, I have the older one too. She's 11. I mean, she'll be driving by then. So, oh my god, I see her walk around into shit. I don't want her driving.
I'm going to need to drop off, gents, but it's been fantastic chatting to you again, and thanks for
Yeah,
inviting me in as well as always.
I appreciate you jumping on for a little bit with us, and appreciate everything you have to say. And yeah, just thankful for you guys. Appreciate it.
Always love a chat. Hopefully we get some more guys. We'll catch up with you real soon and keep fighting the good fight.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. See you later.
Catch you later.
All
Cheers.
right, Coach. All right, there. I'll let you go. I know you got the little one there, so I appreciate you jumping on. I know it was real impromptu, so
Yeah, that's what
um,
makes it fun, though.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Uh, Nothing's kind of pre-laid out ahead of time. It's just kind of BSing and just shooting the breeze. I don't get much interaction during the day, so this is
Me
a highlight
either.
for me. So
Yeah, yeah. You still we're still on for that the scheduled one we got coming up, though, right? The
yeah,
one in December we were talking about.
yeah, we'll do the 1st of December, and that'll be Friday. So or in a couple weeks. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm gonna start when I get back from Illinois. I'm gonna start putting together my 2-year compilation video, just pictures and different things that I did throughout the 2 years to where I am now. So just it's just gonna be an overview of things I did, and hopefully it spurs someone else to be able to do something. Not maybe not necessarily fitness or health related, just something they've wanted to do for a long time, whether it's a trip or something. Just hopefully it gets someone over that a hill that they're
Yeah,
facing, and uh yeah,
yeah, man. That's the name of the game. You never know. That's why I try to put out as much stuff as I can because you never know who is gonna read it and they need that exact thing that day and
yeah,
spurs them to make some tiny change in their life for the better.
yeah,
That's what I'm all about.
yeah, me too, man. All right, man, I appreciate it. Have a good Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you before then.
Yeah, you too, Ryan. Catch you later,
Okay,
brother.
yes sir, take care.